on the Slip and Dip podcast.
Oh, beautiful, man. What is up, people? Welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. First episode of 2019. We're here to talk the latest in the world of MMA with two fantastic guests for you. I am Matthew Wells. Alongside me, as always, Kendrick Johnson. Kendrick, 2019, man, we made it.
Yeah, we made it, trying to do things bigger and better in 2019. Starting things off on the right foot. Excited. Boxing's going to be hot this year. MMA is going to be hot this year. It's going to be a lot of different things going on. We're going to see if somebody can close the gap on UFC. For y'all people that are casual that listen to the show, UFC is not a sport, it's an organization.
Yes, it's definitely entertainment. That needs to be the realization that a lot of people need to come to this year. This is an entertainment business, and things will be scheduled and booked accordingly. As we saw, an entire event was moved for Jon Jones 9 days before fights. So, yeah, that doesn't happen in sports.
They don't move the Super Bowl
right.
for one team.
No, that doesn't happen. That does not happen. But on today's episode, we do have Mr. Corey Anderson, UFC 205er, currently ranked number 6, tied with ranked number 6 according to the UFC official rankings. Just got a big win over Ilir Latifi on that event we were just mentioning. And our coach of the year, our one and only, Slip and Dippy, Javier Mendez, over there at AKA, trainer to the stars, Cain Velasquez making his return, the champ Daniel Cormier, Habib, Nurmagomedov,
Props to
so
him,
many
though.
more. Violent Bob Ross, Justin Willis. The list goes on and on and on and on and on.
Props to him, though. If you had 4 championship fights, not only did he have 4 wins, he had 4 finishes. He won a super fight. He won, had the second champ. So,
yeah,
you can't make these up.
No, hell of a year for him. I mean, there's a lot of people that had him as coach of the year. There were some other worthy candidates as well, but hey, it's hard to argue. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the great coaching that we saw in MMA this year. And but when you're doing it at the top of the game, when you got champions and you have multiple champions and multiple returning champions, like, it's gonna be a thing. Like, you gotta go with that guy, I think, right? So shout out to Javier. One thing of note on the interview, you will notice it just kind of abrupts at the end. We were about to wrap up. Literally, we were about to do our wrap up, and then all of a sudden Skype disconnected, and I don't know if Javier's house like completely went down. Like, I don't know if the grid shut off in California or what.
Javi, we worried about you.
I don't know what happened, but like, we lost all communication with Javier Mendez. But it's all good before that. But, let's run over a couple of news and notes things real quick before we jump into these interviews. It was announced today, or the news broke today rather, that Jon Jones will be fighting Anthony Smith at UFC 235. What do you think about the matchup? Just
easy work.
Easy.
I don't think he lied. I gave him 2 rounds.
Wow, 2 rounds. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a tough fight for Anthony Smith.
I was ready to pounce, say like, do what?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight for Anthony Smith for sure. It's just, listen, nobody comes into a fight against Jon Jones and actually looks great. So that's just what it is.
It's like common sense just goes out the window. We got this man that's got double figures losses. All of a sudden, he's good enough to be a person that's in GOAT conversation.
I think that's going to be the thing with Jon Jones in 2019. We're going to see him fight a bunch of guys that are, I mean, they're only deserving of it because of their number, not because of can they beat him. And that's just the state of that division right now.
But for him though, I props to him though. So he can say, I took on anybody, everybody, all across the world because I'm the world champion. So he's real. He takes that pride in that. So if he's a fighting champion and taking on all comers, and well, they're not gonna make no money. Well, they're not this and that. I give him his props.
Yeah.
Because if you're that guy, that's what you're supposed to do. So he's stepping up and saying he's that guy. He talking the talk and walking the walk. You know, he got dirty P tests, but ain't none of my business though.
Speaking of which, this fight is pending that Jon Jones does it get cleared by the Nevada State Athletic Commission because they're supposed to have that hearing on the towards the end of the month. I believe it's on the 27th. I believe they're supposed to have that meeting, something like that. So this is another fight that's basically come out that we don't know what John Jones is even going to get licensed for. So I made a bold prediction on a podcast, Dan Tom, on his Protect Your Neck podcast for our...
It's not going to come back on you, is it?
It was for his 2018 awards, and then at the very end we did a bold prediction. And spoiler alert, my bold prediction that was that John Jones would have a fight with no controversy surrounding it. And that's already in question so far, so... I don't know. We'll see what it is as we get closer to that, and that's definitely something to keep an eye on. One other thing, I mean, we got Anthony Pettis calling out Wonder Boy, kind of a weird take there. That would be an interesting fight, I guess, for the karate styles that they both possess. But I would definitely go with.
I want that smoke.
I would go with Anthony Pettis. If I'm not Anthony Pettis, I would go with Wonder Boy. If that were the case, if that does end up happening. But hey, shout out to Pettis though. He's moving up to 170. Don't want to cut all that weight. So again, I'm always about guys not cutting weight. So I'm with that from that standpoint. Conor McGregor called out Tenshin Nasuaka wants a fight just like Floyd did. I like the spirit of the idea, but Conor is huge compared to Tenshin. You saw how big
Floyd looked next to him.
Yes, and we saw how big Conor looked next to Floyd. So come on. I like the spirit of it, but no, let's not do that. Let's just get you back in the UFC. I know that the UFC is on this thing right now where Conor fights, they have to be huge. They have to be these huge events. Like, I get it. The man doesn't really need to fight, but hey.
No, he's not.
If he wants to fight, let him fight. I mean, put him in there. There's a lot of names that will draw interest. Not all of them are going to be Conor Khabib, though.
Right.
Yeah, so that's just the nature of the game where we're at right now. What else you got, man, before we get into these interviews? Anything else jumping up at you early in 2019?
No, nothing early. On the boxing side, everything's quiet. Everybody's ready for the Earl Spence fight. They have the big card coming up early Leo Santa Cruz fights, because PBC basically then slid in the UFC spot on that TV time, so it's going to be a lot more PBC action for everybody to see, so it's going to put boxing a lot more mainstream. So Kyle used to get those random cards for UFC, we're going to get those random boxing cards where everybody don't see them though, because they're not on the Showtime or HBO, so it's going to be interesting to see how the PBC Fox still works out.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. That will be interesting. I mean, there's a couple of deals like that. You know, we'll see how that works out. We'll see what DAZN does in 2019 as well with Canelo and whatever else they end up doing. And of course, we're gonna see some boxing as well on Fight Pass. Some Zuffa boxing potentially at some point in 2019. So a lot of things to look forward to. I think the sport's gonna, not just this sport, but combat sports as a whole is gonna look pretty different in 2019. Oh, we'll see how it all plays out. But that's pretty much all I got, man, for now. We do have Corey Anderson and Javier Mendez, like I mentioned at the top of the show.
Corey spit them hot takes. He about that life, ladies and gentlemen. He is not just talking noise. He really lives and breathes what he's saying. So it'd be an interesting take to get very spirited.
Yeah, and he wants all the smoke. He wants all the smoke. No doubt. No matter who it is, he's for it. He's here for it. So yeah, enjoy those interviews. And as always, people, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. We would definitely appreciate it. Help grow the show a little bit. And if you're listening on iTunes, please hit that subscribe button. Please leave us a review as well. Just a quick little review, 5 stars, rate it, and share it with your friends and family on your social media feeds, whatever have you, any blog you may be on. We always try to bring you at least 2 guests a week, and that's what we did right out the gate in 2019. If you guys saw our little collage that we did for 2018, all of the guests we had on there, just faces from across the combat sports landscape. Pretty incredible when you go back and look at it. So hopefully we can bring you that and more in 2019.
And feel free to check our library. It's always open.
Yep, no doubt. So let's get into it, guys. First up, we will have Corey Anderson, and then we will have our Coach of the Year, Javier Mendez, to follow up. So enjoy the rest of the show, and until next week, peace.
Please welcome to the Slip It Dead podcast, one of the best UFC 205ers in the world, Making his second appearance in the Slip and Dip, Mr. Corey Anderson. Corey, thanks for coming back on the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
So we'll get straight to the business, man. So what's your take to what do you think you have to do to get a title shot when you got people just because they on TV getting title shots and they don't got the resume that you got?
I'm about to kill somebody, I guess, man. I don't know what to do. They said that Glover was going to get a title shot. If he beat me, I beat him. They're like, oh, he got to win one more. Then when I signed the contract with Illyria, it was like, oh, if winner is going to be the number one contender and they get the next title shot, I'm sure they just expected Illyria to walk over me. And I stumped him out. Or then, I ain't going to say I stumped him out, but I won. And now it's kind of like.
You stumped him out. You were bullshit.
Now it's just, I don't know what's going on, man. It's crazy. I'm just going to keep winning, keep getting paid, and just do what I got to do.
I know you're not one that like you have an internal swag. You definitely got a lot of confidence, but you ain't one to talk noise or nothing like that. Where's the swag to beat that guy, to beat John Jones? Where you get that from?
I mean, I get that from the gym every day. That's it. You put the work in, you put the time in, you know what you got, you believe in what you got, you get it done. And that's the plan. You know, I feel like a lot of people worry about what John Jones is going to do because it's John Jones. They've watched him, they idolize him for so long. It's kind of like you go into a fight and you worried about his best move instead of worried about what they got to do to take him out. You know, I'm not that guy. I used to fight like that when I was young in it. I used to have to worry about what this guy's going to do, worrying about my opponent, and that would hinder my performance. But now that I'm out there, this year was the year I actually expressed what I can do. Going out to do what Corey can do and don't worry about what they do. Just have fun doing what I can, and I've been successful.
So the tweet that he put out was, "You sure you want this smoke?" And you replied, "All the smoke. Give me all the smoke." And yet we hear today it's going to be John Jones and Anthony Smith. So what was your reaction to that when you saw that come across?
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, like I said, Anthony Smith, if you know the casual fans, the MMA fans, whatever you want to call them, the guys that think they know everything, they swear Anthony Smith deserves to fight over me. But if you look at the stats I've been posting since my fight, it doesn't make any sense. You know, I went from beating the number 3 and number 5 guy. All my guys were ranked in the top 10 this year. And he's beat one top 5 guy, one top 10 guy. Now he gets a title shot. It's just because of his name. You know, he's on TV, on Fox. He's got finishes. Granted, they were people that aren't like top contenders or whatever, and there wasn't title talk. I mean, it is what it is.
So, I mean, looking at your 2018, man, it was a pretty strong 2018. I mean, you can't do better than 3-0, right? But what was your biggest takeaway from the year when you look back at it?
My biggest takeaway from the year is what I'm here. That was my takeaway. I'm here. I got what it takes to beat all these guys, these top guys. You know, they're saying Glover, he can beat DC if he get a chance. You know, and I beat him. I stopped that train. Illyria got the hands. If he hit anybody with his sludge hammers, they going out. I ate those, you know, so I figured I'm here. That's it. That was my takeaway. After that fight, I realized I'm here. There's no more doubt. There's no more second guessing. There's no more. I don't need to work on my confidence. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, stay humble, keep working, and do what I do every day in the gym and my fights, and I'll be successful.
How much did having a tough 2017 lead to this? Because, like, it seems like you say you worried about you. You say, in a weird way, do you think you need to go through the adversity? Because I'm not one to oppose that you have to lose to be better, but do you think in the big picture that helps you get to where you're at now? Because, like, your mindset, your swag, your game is all, boom, thumbs up through the roof. You think in a weird way 2017 needed to happen to make 2018 in the future great?
Yeah, 2017 was definitely a big part of my success in 2018. You know, the Jimmy fight, that was like the fight I was doubting myself. I wasn't sure exactly what I could do, and I was a lot smaller at that time. And after I lost to Jimmy, we talked in the bar and told him, like, bro, you good. I studied your films. You're good. You just too small. Put some size on. You know, and from that, I got the size. I started lifting more, eating more, and got bigger. And then I figured out the confidence part. Like, I was seeing what I could do in the gym. And I see, like, I go to different gyms and I beat up different guys. I was traveling, working with Ryan Bader, putting work in with him. And got like, this guy, he was right there for title contention. Like, if I'm doing that, if I can hang with this guy, I can go with everybody, you know? So when I came back and going to the OSP fight, it was the same thing. It was like, all right, now it's time to just put it together. We got the size. We got the work ethic. We know what we got to do. Just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. You know, and I went to the OSP fight, and I was winning that fight, dominating, and just got caught. And after that, I just told myself, all right, now I just got to work on my focus. You know, I got the work, I got the size. It's just the focus. I can't slack at any time in the fight. I got to be prepared to fight 15 minutes all the way through. And that's what we did. When I started going 15 minutes all the way through, my focus set on what I got to get done, I don't think I've lost a round yet.
So indirectly, Jimmy Mendez helped you out more than he probably even realized. Not just the fact that you got the loss, but just talking to him like on a personal level helped you in ways you probably didn't even know. Huh?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Just that little conversation we had there, drinking cranberry vodkas at the bar. Hey, like that. Hey, and that was it. That's all I needed to hear. And from there, I took over.
Before I let Matt ask you a question, like they say, 3 people tell you the truth: drunk people, angry people, and kids. So I guess he was in one of those categories.
100%. Drunk honest.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome to hear. Hear a little bit of insight, like where you get this stuff from. I guess all this motivation. It can come from any spot. You're not really looking for. But I guess was there any other big change you can point to this year that really was like, all right, this is like a huge difference in my training or in my camp? Maybe something outside of the camp that kind of helped motivate you besides that.
My wife and then her getting pregnant and my first child. Those are probably the biggest motivations, the biggest things that changed for me. My wife and my mother, when after I got knocked out with OSP, their reaction to it, both how scared they was, that was one thing to let me know I got to start keeping my hands up. I can't keep putting my family through that. And then the second thing, when my wife is just there every day as like a coach and a teammate, like she breaks down film, she studies film with me, and she helps me out with everything with that aspect. And then when we got pregnant, that was the biggest thing. Going to the Glover fight, we found out she was pregnant 2 weeks before, and my coaches were like, "Oh, we shouldn't take this fight on short notice." But for my aspect, like I told Frankie Perez, he came out there with me. He was the first person I told, like, Jenny's pregnant. That's my new motivation. So we're gonna go out there and get it done for not just me and my family, but my son to be. And we got it done. It's just been a train, letting it go since.
Man, that's awesome.
What do you want people to know about you, Corey? Because we see you behind the scenes. We know you're a great dude. Like, even though I didn't know you were a fighter, I can still kick it with you. What do you want people to know? Because you're real quiet, so people don't really know you other than what they see in the cage.
I don't want nobody to know anything, but I'm here. That's it. They don't gotta know me. They ain't gotta hear me. It's just like, when do you get robbed the most? Who robbed you? The thief. The thief comes silent at night. Nobody knows he's coming. That's how I'm coming for that belt.
Wow. Yeah.
So what do you think with John? Do you think the fact that John has the swag as he should, as people call him the GOAT, all this craziness? So this is a 2-part question. Do you think he's sleeping on somebody like yourself? And what do you think about fighting somebody that's got all this questionable with the steroids and stuff? Because at the end of the day, them tests keep coming up negative. That's a fact. I'm a neutral person in all this, but you put your livelihood against somebody that's known as a cheater.
Hey, it is what it is. All that means when they lose, it's gonna look that much worse on him. Like you can do all you want to do, but that's not gonna give you heart. Steroids, drugs, whatever you're taking, that only help you physically for so long. At a certain point, that heart gonna give out. Your heart and your mind gotta do the rest. And everybody know I'm there. 3 rounds, 5 rounds. I don't die down. I'm pushing the pace. You gotta knock me out to get me to stop. And if you knock me out, hats off to you. But I'm gonna come back just as hard. But my heart is stronger than anybody. My work ethic is, I work hard. Anybody in the 205 division, I work hard. And a lot of these guys in the UFC, period. And I know that because I've been gym to gym and seen the way they train. So him being steroids, whatever you want to take, do what he got to do to get that confidence in himself. It ain't going to deter what I do.
Do you think it's kind of strange? Like it's like we're in like this period where he's gonna be okay with having the certain amount of picograms in his show up on his test. Like, it seems kind of strange to me that that's just gonna be like kind of a foregone conclusion. Like, hey, John's gonna have this in his system right now, so if it shows up, you just pretty much have to ignore it, even though it's nobody else has this issue.
It's bull because somebody else get those picograms in him. Maybe some kid just got in the UFC. He could have took steroids a long time ago, but he ended up coming in, got picos, whatever it is. He gonna get suspended right away. He's suspended because he's a nobody, But the fact that it's John Jones and he's the GOAT, he's selling tickets and setting records, and he's buying people, selling pay-per-views, and they're gonna let it go because they need to make that money off of him. It's messed up, but ain't nothing we can do about it. You complain too much, you're gonna get cut. So kind of like just deal with it.
I like your positive attitude, man. For some reason, me and Matt are with a few people that cover UFC and boxing, but you strike me as that boxer that knows something that we don't know, but you're ready to let the world know to shock the world. You just got that DNA, and like I feel it just by as a fan, but talking to you and stuff behind the scenes, it's just like you know something that we don't know that you ready to show the world in 2019. Is that accurate?
Oh. They've yet to see the best Corey Anderson. I'm still developing myself. There's still so much I'm learning. As you saw in the last 2 fights, I'm finally starting to throw my kicks. There's still so much to grow. I just learned how to throw kicks this year. 2018 was the year I found how to use a kick. So next is elbows and knees and spinning shit. We finna start having fun.
I like it. So are you gonna, spend more time training with like karate guys that can show you some of that spinning shit? Like maybe head up to over there with Wonder Boy and get some of that type of work in.
Man, I got my man Carl Robeson sitting right here. Glory Kickboxing.
Notice
he got it all. And Wonder Boy. My boy Wonder Boy, not my boy, my guy Carl Reed trains with Wonder Boy, and he comes out here and help me with camp, and he fights the same way, that karate style. He comes out and show me some kick stretches, how to do those side kicks and stuff, so we work on it. But this year, that wasn't my main focus. My main focus was just to go out there, dominate, work on keeping my hands up, and learn how to use my kicks in my fight, not just in training, but use the kicks as a range finder and a dominator, and we did that.
Was there any kind of hiccup of trying to mix it all together, or has it come naturally to you adding that element in there?
It's always gonna be a hiccup. Anything new is gonna feel weird. Just learning how to throw a head kick was the hardest part because I have no hips at all. So getting that up there, that aspect, I was doing all these stretches and all this different stuff. And my boy Carl kept telling me, bro, you can stretch all you want. That ain't gonna help you. You just gotta kick. Keep trying to throw it up there, and that's just gonna stretch it out. And sure enough, that's what happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm one for sure that loves to see, all the different types of kicks and mixing it all together, keeping guys off balance with throwing all these sorts of different angles. How developed are you, with like a wheel kick and, your spinning back kick? Is it coming along, or have you even gone that far yet?
I throw spinning back kicks. I throw spinning back fist. I throw like a spinning back kick to a head kick. I can do quite a few things in practice, but the comfortability to throw it in the fight, it's a little different. In practice, I'm okay with throwing it right now in practice. If I fail, if I fall, whatever it is, it's okay. It's practice. I'm learning. But I'm not at the point yet where I'm willing to try that in the fight and just go out there nilly-willy and throw things that could risk me losing the fight. If you look at Chris Weidman's fight with Rocco, I feel like that's what happened with him. He was trying that spinning kick in practice quite a bit, and I don't think he was quite ready for it yet. And when he tried to throw it, he kind of fell off balance and gave off his back. And that was the rise and fall of that fight, I feel. Yes. So I don't want a situation like that to happen for me.
Absolutely. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. And just a quick question about this fight with John. I saw Ali tweet out, kind of like a thing, like suggesting you be that guy for the fight. But did you guys ever even get to the negotiation phase of that, or did you even ever get a contract, sent over? We see all the time guys talk about, hey, I got my contract, I've signed it, I've sent it in. Did it even get that far for you?
I just got back from Vegas like a couple of days ago, so I really never got into deep conversation. Ali was out here in New York. I was in Vegas with my wife doing New Year's with the family and whatnot. We was talking about it, going back and forth. Ali told me just keep tweeting, stay on it. And before you know, by the time we really got here, there was already Anthony Smith posted things saying he was already in the talks with it. So never really got into full, deep conversation on it. So he wasn't completely confident that it was going to happen, but I was working for it, and I wasn't going to give up.
He don't want that smoke.
How does it feel to have your partners? Y'all have that positive vibe around y'all. Like some people be pissed off or like F this and da da da. You just take it in stride. Like sooner or later he gonna have to see me.
I mean, it's like I told him when my boy called up today. I was like, hey, let him give it to Anthony. All it is giving me time to become more and more of a monster. So if it's this fight in 3 months. If I get my opportunity, probably be 6 months, a little later than that, whatever it is. But like I said, if it wasn't for the title fight was the only fight I'm rushing to come back for. Other than that, I'm going to take my time, wait till my baby's born, and just chill in the gym and train. And now that's giving me time to develop and work on other things. So it's gonna make me stronger, faster, and more dangerous the next time I step in for the next person. You know, you can't say Corey's gonna have ring rust because Corey got 13 fights in 4 years. I'm putting the time in. I'm not worried about the rust.
So you're cool. Like, say for instance, you didn't fight John until November, October, hypothetically. So you cool waiting that time and not fighting the fight in between now and then?
I mean, I'll be with my baby, be with my wife and my baby coming, so I'll be fine. I'll still be training, spending my time as a family man. But when that time comes, just know I will be ready.
Okay. So they currently have you ranked number 6, moved up 4 spots from the last ranking. So you feel like you're tied for 6 actually with Thiago Santos. So I mean, do you feel like that's a good ranking for you, or do you feel like you're a little snubbed on that, or what? How you feeling about that?
What you think? I want to know what you think.
It don't matter what I think. Honestly, I'll put it this way.
It's your podcast. What you think?
I'll put it this way. I do see a couple of names above you that shouldn't be above you. I'll just say that.
I know one name above me that I murdered, and he wanted to quit in a fight. And 2 years ago in Brooklyn, he came up and told me and my wife that I was the biggest nightmare in his life, and he would never want to fight me again. And his name is Jan Blachowicz, and he's ranked like 3rd or 4th. You know what I'm saying? That it makes no sense.
That's one of the names I was talking about. So yeah, that's crazy.
I was ranked 6th after I beat the number 3 ranked guy. And then all of a sudden I dropped down to 10 without fighting. Then I beat the number 5 guy, and I'm ranked number 6 again. You know, Jan Blachowicz, he lost to Jimmy Manuwa. Then he came back and beat Jimmy in a decision, and he jumped from ranked 15th to 2nd or 3rd or something like that. How does that work? You know, a guy, he lost to Pat Cummins. Then he beat an unranked kid. And then he fought the rematch with Jimmy because somebody had to fight Jimmy, and he ended up winning. Was ranked 14th or 15th and jump up to 3rd. 3rd or 2nd. I beat the number 3 guy, I go to 6 from 9. I beat the number 5 guy, and I go back to 6. It makes no sense to me. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's all right. Let them keep sleeping on me. When the time come, like I said, a thief in the night, when it happened, everybody going to be like, who is this Corey Anderson kid? Where did he come from? They're just not going to realize I've been here this whole time, but you just kept looking past me.
So wait, I don't want to gloss over this. So you said Jan Blachowicz came up to your wife and said what again?
I was the worst nightmare he ever had, and he wouldn't want to fight me again.
Wow. Have you ever had any other opponents say anything remotely like that to you? Or
I've never talked to any of my opponents. I was surprised. And the crazy part, we was leaving. It was UFC Brooklyn when Derek Brunson fought Anderson Silva. He was sitting behind us in the arena. And me and my wife was leaving early, and you hear somebody calling my name, and I turn around, and he's running down the hallway to ask if I can get a picture. Like, brother, Corey, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, what's up? Like, I just want to get a picture with you and let you know, bro, our fight, that was the biggest nightmare of my life, and I never want to fight you again.
That's what he's fucking up over there?
Wow.
I looked at my wife, and her face was like, did he really just say that? Like, yeah. He just said that. He just chased us down to tell me this before we left the arena. And that was it. And then when I tried to fight him again, after he got ranked in the top 5, and I tweeted him like, yo, Jan, you've been looking good in your fights. Let's run it back. He got the nerve to go on an interview and say, oh, Corey Anderson need to win some fights before he can fight me.
He got the nerve.
Wow.
It's a big Corey. It seems like Mama Anderson's about that life too.
But you ain't gotta say that. Don't try to act tough when I done smoked that ass. That was my 6th fight ever. And it was like his 20-something fight. And I made him pretty much quit in the first round. Like, come on now.
Corey, it seems like Mama Anderson's about that life too. She just don't get in the octagon. It's a mean. It seems like Mama Anderson's about that life too.
Who?
Your wife. So she hardcore too. She about that life.
Oh, yeah. She fought. She was a fighter. We met in the gym.
Okay.
But now we working on the family. So she just hung the gloves up temporarily or for good. We don't know. But right now we ain't worried about fighting. We're worried about family. So she's about that life. We down. Anywhere we go, I got my sidekick. You want to fight? We ready.
Hey, I like that.
He put everybody on notice.
Yeah, man. So, Corey, I mean, obviously, we know the title fight's happening. If you had to pick one of the guys ranked above you, I guess if you had to take another fight before you get a title shot, who would you choose out of Gus, Jan, or Volkan, or Thiago Santos?
Whichever one gonna take the fight. Like I said, I won't smoke all the smoke.
All the smoke.
I'm tired of to pass me. Anybody can get it. Ain't no ducking and dodging. Since I've been in UFC, I've never said no to a fight, and it ain't gonna start now.
Okay, I like it. I mean, hey, that's a good way to wrap it up for me. Go
with the hot takes, man. Whatever you sign that contract, before you give somebody that smoke, you gotta make sure you come on before so we can get a preview of what smoke you gonna be dealing.
I'm bringing just hot smoke, hot fire. Call the fireman.
I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. All the smoke. Corey Anderson. We'll be seeing where he's at back into the octagon, whether it be for a title shot or against one of these other guys ranked higher than they should be. So we'll see how it goes, man. Corey, thanks for coming on the show again, man. We do appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. Friend of the show and the 2018 Slip and Dippy Trainer of the Year, Mr. Javier Mendez. Congrats on a hell of a 2018. One for the record books. I would count. Yeah, 4 title fights, 4 wins, all stops. Sound about right?
Yeah, about right. Yeah.
That's an incredible
year. Good year.
Incredible year. Absolutely. I mean,
yeah.
Looking back on that year, obviously, we're talking championships. The highest level. Was there? I mean, it's kind of. I guess it's maybe like, hey, pick your favorite child type of moment. But was there a moment out of those title fights this year that kind of stood out to you more than the other?
Yeah, when DC knocked out Stipe, that was. We thought we were going to win. We went in. The whole coaching, everybody. DC too. We went in thinking we were going to beat this guy. But Bob, myself, and all the other coaches, we didn't think he was going to do it the way he did. So when he did that, it was like electricity went through our whole bodies, and Crazy Bob and I were just hugging like little girls, just like, just going nuts. It was crazy. That stands out as an unbelievable moment, exciting wise. As far as the shock, that would have to be Habib and Conor, because for me, that one was another, not an unbelievable feeling. That was what the is going on. After his victory, I'm thinking, it's all over, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, I turn around to celebrate with friends, and as I'm high-fiving them and all happy, all of a sudden I hear this stuff reckless, and I look in the ring, and all of a sudden I think, oh, F. What the hell just happened? I didn't know what was going on. That's one of those what the F's going on here type of looks, So I guess I had both. An exciting one and a what the F kind of moment.
So when you say he did what's now called the eagle jump, did you think like this is just gonna get some real life consequences? Did you think that? I
didn't see it. I didn't see it because I was too busy. And when I turned around is when all the ruckus came on. The only thing I seen was when his cousin went on top of the cage, and then Conor went on top of the cage, and Conor took a swing at him and gave him a black eye. Well, I say gave him a black eye because he did. Gave him a black eye. So that I did see, but I didn't see anything else. I mean, after that, I'd seen what happened after, but I didn't see Habib jump out of the cage. I didn't see that.
What do you think about this whole legal process? Is that anything y'all worried about, or just it is what it is since it's all everything's been done now?
It is what it is. It's done, and it's, actually, people have made so much money off the T-shirts, that the eagle flying out. It's actually a badass. I did an Instagram post with John Mayorga wearing one of the T-shirts, the Air Habib shirts, and I wanted one, but those are bootleg. Those aren't Habib shirts. So John knew that, and John goes, "Yeah, I knew I couldn't help it though. I had to have that shirt." And I go, "Yeah, I wanted one too, but I couldn't do it." So I just happened to mention to Habib, I go, "Hey, what do you think about making those shirts? Can I do one? Put AKA on it?" No, I said, "Can I do one?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "But coach, put AKA on it." So I said, "Oh, okay." So I posted on my Instagram if people want us to make those shirts. And you know what? There's 300 something responses on very positive, 2 negatives that we don't want to use that bad publicity to gain money out of it. And I'm thinking, well, in my mind, I'm thinking they're right. But at the same time, too, other people are monetizing his image and making money out of it. So why can't we make the money out of it since we're the ones involved?
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
That's what I'm thinking about. I'm still on the fence on whether we'll do it, but but it doesn't make sense that why shouldn't, and it happened. It's history now. That moment, him jumping out of the cage and them catching him in the air like that, man, that's iconic. So it's kind of like, I think we'd be foolish not to use it, to be honest with you, because it's an iconic moment.
Well, I mean, if the UFC used Conor throwing a dolly through the bus as promo footage, I mean, I don't think a T-shirt would.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? In this case, not one person got hurt. And the dolly incident, people did get hurt, and that was really bad. And in this case, no one got hurt. And I'm not condoning it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think what he did was the right thing to do. But I'm not, I'm just saying it happened, and why not take advantage of it if he's okay? If Khabib's okay with it, why not?
So when did you actually see that for the first time? When you got to the back or what?
No, not when I got to the back. No, a few days later, I watched it. I watched the whole thing, and I just went like, "Oh man!" I'm just kind of wondering what kind of trouble we're in with the commission, because the commission is pretty strict on things like that, And I don't know. Last I heard, commission is gonna fine him up to $1 million. Everybody combined, all the Russian guys, all his guys, all combined for $1 million. But that was over a month ago, so I don't know about now. I think personally that's wrong for them to fine him that much. Nobody got hurt. It was stopped in a very short period of time. I'm not condoning what he did. He should get fined. He should get suspended. But $1 million total for everything like that, that's just ridiculous. And also, too, whatever he gets, Conor should get too. He is the biggest instigator of this whole thing. I mean, he started the whole thing by attacking his father, his religion, and his country. I mean, in his country, you do that in that country, you get killed for that. In most countries, you get killed for what he did, and that's a fact. That's a fact. So just because we're in America doesn't mean that it's okay to do it to somebody that's not American, And Conor knew what he's doing. He's a mastermind at it. And I'm not saying, I'm not talking bad about him per se, but I just wish he would never do that kind of stuff. Don't use religion, don't use politics, and don't use family when you attack a fighter. I never will attack a fighter because I'm not fighting him, and this is a sport. It's not a true sport, but it is a sport. And for me, it's not about me fighting those guys, because then if it's on the street, then it's not legal. I'm about legal. This is about legal fighting. So the fighting is between the fighter and the fighter. It's not between me and the fighter, me and the coach. That's why you never hear me talk about anybody in that regard. I can't. It's a sport to me.
What do you think about when you saw? Because you say you looked at it a couple of days after the fight. What do you think when you see the behind the scenes stuff when Conor's in there? Like, bruh, it was just for the promotion. Like, it's like it was like a joke, but Khabib didn't get the joke. Basically, after he's getting his ass whooped, he says it did though.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, bro, it's just business. It's like, well, okay, yeah, but that's the wrong kind of business. You want to go business with me, do something else, attack me, attack my coaches, but don't attack my family. He could have attacked us. That was okay. We're part of the arsenal. I'm okay with that. But the family part, nah, I'll never be for that stuff. And I get it, and you can't regulate it. No organization is going to be able to regulate it. I just wish they wouldn't do it. That's all. It's just not. And I wish, more coaches would speak out about it, because the more coaches that speak out about it, top coaches, the more likely that the fighter himself won't get into those kind of negative things, because this is a sport, and we don't want to bring negativity that causes hate, that causes damage, and possibly even death to people down the line. It hasn't happened yet, but who knows? It could. Remember what Chael Sonnen did with Brazil and the whole bid, and then Colby Covington did what he did, and now he can't go to Brazil. Well, hey, check this out. I would hate to be the coach of one of those fighters, and then I'd be afraid for my own life to go to Brazil for competition. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want that on me. I'm there to coach. I'm not there to fight people because they're mad at me, because, I don't want that. Let the fighters fight with each other. Leave country, religion and family out of everything,
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, though, how disappointed were you with all that extracurricular stuff going on, that the actual fight itself is almost an afterthought now? Like, the fact that he went out there and choked out Conor and, put his hands on him the way he did throughout the fight up until the finish. How disappointing are you that's like the actual fight's really, like, not a lot of people really talking about that part?
Yeah, you know it took away from what a great job he did against such a great fighter. You know, it did take away, but unfortunately, this is the world we live in. You know, it made him more popular than ever. It made all the presidents and kings of all these other countries bring him down. He's making a ton of money on personal appearances because they loved what he did. They loved how he stood up and respected his religion, his family, and his country. So you know, as sad as it sounds, these political people use it for their political gains, and you know, it worked out to Habib's benefit in a huge way. Although in a negative way, you know, in our sport, but in a political way, it worked out humongous for him.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, obviously, you mentioned that fight, and then of course DC going on to do what he did against Stipe. Did you think like that? I mean, obviously, you mentioned that you didn't expect it to go that way. I mean, what were you guys planning on as far as a game plan to take Stipe out? I mean, were you guys expecting it to go more rounds, or what were you thinking heading in?
I was expecting it to go 5 rounds. We were going to dirty box in the inside like he did, you know, neck grabbing, because he's so good at it, you know. We told him we want him neck grabbing in the inside, work on a lot in the inside, a lot of inside kicking. He was doing everything perfect that we wanted him to do, but I did not expect a first round. No way. Yeah. I was expecting a 5-round war because Stipe is a great fighter. And when Daniel basically, he got hit with a good shot, and all of a sudden he just like, Daniel said it himself, he goes, man, when he hit me, Hob, I knew he was mine. He couldn't hurt. He goes, this dude couldn't hurt me. So he just went in and he just, with confidence, and he just put him out, dude. It was an amazing feeling for me, amazing feeling, because I didn't expect him to be that dominant.
So was that what that moment was, when I guess when DC was kind of back towards the fence there for a second, and Stipe threw a quick combination, and DC kind of threw his hands up like what?
Yeah.
That's what that was?
That was that. Yep. Okay. That was when he goes, this dude can't hurt me.
Okay.
And he told us, he goes, this dude can't, Hob, he couldn't hurt me. That's why I walked him down, and I said, he's done. You know, so that's when that moment happened. I wish you could have got DC on here. He would have told you the same thing in a funnier way.
I've been wondering what that was. You know,
yeah,
exactly for a while. So.
Yeah, that was it. That was it. This dude can't hurt me.
Hey, I won $875 out of it, so I'll never forget that. I thought I was going to have to wait a little longer for that money, but it was feeling good to be in Vegas and put that slip on that table and get that $875.
Yeah.
Speaking of DC, do you want? I know we can know how him and John go back and forth. Do you want one more time as a coach to try to solve that Jones riddle, or it is what it is and it's just part of history like that?
It is what it is. It's part of history. My personal feeling is look, DC doesn't need the money anymore. This is my personal feeling. He's making enough money. He's for life. He's got a great analyst job, commentator job, TV host job. He's an incredible artist, you know, and I call him artist because that's what he is. He's a freaking artist. And guess what? He'll make more money doing behind the scenes, doing the camera work, the hosting work, than he did fighting. So for me, go while you're at the top, you know, be happy. And to me, he's done so much, and why not go out on top? Fight Brock for the payday, you know, and then go out and ride in the sunset. That's me, though, okay? I can't speak for him because, you know, he knows what I want. He's gonna do what he wants. And originally the plan was to retire after his 40th birthday, but, you know, setbacks, you know, that were unforeseen happened. And so now he's in a situation where I don't think he's done. I don't think he wants to quit before, you know, his 40th birthday. I think he's going to go a little bit beyond that. So we'll see. Maybe he gets one fight, maybe 2, maybe 3. I'm hoping just 1, and I'm hoping it's Brock. But if not, maybe it's Miocic, you know, and then maybe Brock, you know, and we'll see. It's hard to say. I know this. He'll be fighting.
Do you think the Brock fight's an easier fight than Stipe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's an easier fight. It's a dangerous fight because Brock's a big son of a gun. But, you know, it's more of a wrestling type scenario. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'm not as concerned with Stipe either because DC has his number, in my opinion. He has his number because, like I said, he dropped his hands. It's like, oh, that's all you got? Oh, you in trouble. And look what happened.
So it's one of those things like it's just a bad style matchup for him. Kind of like what I think we found out in the female side with Cyborg and Amanda Nunes. It's just that's not a problem that she can solve. It's style matchup.
Yeah, style matchups, they mean a lot. They really do. And You know, and I think in this case, DC's confidence, man, well, let me tell you something. When DC's confidence is soaring that high and he comes in walking you down, if you ain't knocking him out, he's knocking you out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, so let me ask you about another guy that's obviously got a lot of power in his hands, and I guess DC's brother in a way, Kane. Looks like he's prepping. I've seen the posts that you've been putting up, the videos, him hitting pads, looking sharp. How are you feeling about his return and how he's looking right now?
He's looking great. You know, I've said it for over a year that he's been ready to go. It's just the contract negotiations weren't done, and they were going back and forth. I didn't know what was going on, but I know they weren't done. His wife was having a baby, and they had the 1-year-old little boy, Kane Jr., and Kane wanted to be there for his son like he wasn't for his daughter as much as he wanted to be. So he did that this time around, and everything worked out perfect. He got to spend the time with his wife and his family and be the family man that he is. And then, the opportunities came up, and now he's ready to fight. And, we happened to get outside of D.C., this is the toughest fight that Kane would have, in my opinion, is Ngannou. Because Ngannou's got the one area that can beat anybody, and that's that power, and he's for me, outside of DC in the heavyweight division, Ngannou's the toughest fight for Kane.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that power is scary for anybody, but outside of that, I mean, Francis really hasn't presented a lot of challenges, and we've seen a lot of Kane. Like, he seems to be a lot more, obviously he's a lot more well-rounded than Francis. I don't think anybody's going to argue that whatsoever, but I mean, in a way, though, I mean, obviously from away from the power, do you think this is like the right type of matchup for him to come in against a guy that's really only got that one area to beat you, whereas Kane can take it to different levels?
Yeah, but the thing is, I fear that one area he has, whereas the other guys, I don't fear any area they have,
Okay.
Because Kane's so goddamn good. He's gotten better, you guys. It's not like he's been doing nothing. He's been training. We've been training, so he's better than he's ever been. So you're not going to see an old Kane, a beat-up Kane. You're going to see a reinvented Kane. He's better technically. It's harder. Now he's 100% healthy. He's been healthy, but he's 100% healthy going into this fight at the present time. So, it's a great time for him. I mean, would I want an easier opponent? Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah, give me the worst guy in the roster. I'm fine with that. I don't care. That's my belief. If you had my pick, I'd take the worst guy out of the whole lot.
Isn't that something crazy, though? Because we talk about this all the time, the difference between MMA and boxing. Like, you don't get that. Like, in boxing, you'll have a stay busy fight. You'll have a fight against a guy that nobody knows in preparation for the next big name. Whereas in UFC, MMA, it's like, hey, top guy, top guy, top guy, top guy, top guy every time.
Yeah, and I have the boxing mentality, obviously, as you can tell. I want the easier fight. I want the tune-up, but no, there's no such thing in MMA. I haven't seen any tune-ups. UFC gives you don't get no tune-ups.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, Kane coming back. Kane is going to be back to a normal schedule, right? Like, we're seeing Kane coming back and get the title. That's going to be the plan, right?
That's the plan. The plan is for him to get in a position to fight for the title, and hopefully by that time that happens, DC would already have relinquished it. So, the ideal situation for me is DC successfully defends it and passes it down to his big brother or little brother, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think about that with DC saying, I'm going to relinquish the title rather than you guys strip it from me? What did you think about that whole little wrinkle there that went on?
I thought that was awesome because, he's right. It'll go down in the history books. No one will know that he let it go rather than it got stripped. That word stripped, it is what it is. He did it correctly. I didn't even think about that, Normally, Crazy Bob and I will say something to him and give my advice, but that was great, man. I go, man, that's actually really good. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool, too. I mean, it was kind of like, all the little things that him and John have back and forth. Some of it's petty, and some of it's just like, you're not going to get that little one-up on me in any area. And I think that was one of those moments where DC was like, yeah, I'm going to stick it to you this way.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Those guys do whatever they got to do. For me, like I said, my job is to protect DC, and that's it.
How you think a matchup with John at heavyweight plays out, since we never seen that?
I don't know. I don't know if that ever happened. I mean, I don't know. We'll see if that ever does happen or not. I have no idea. I mean, you know for sure it's like this, okay, in my opinion. I think it drains DC to drop to heavyweight. I mean, to a light heavyweight. It's harder for him to go to light heavyweight than it is to fight as heavyweight. He fights better as a heavyweight. I can honestly say that. But who knows how well John will do as a heavyweight either. I don't know. He's never done it, so he might do really well too. I mean, he's a great athlete, you know, so I don't know. But like I said, for me, it's all about Brock Lesnar and moving on.
I like it. Maybe we'll get the Brock Lesnar versus DC in UFC, and then they go do it in WWE too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Have
sure.
some fun. Have some fun for all those fans that are going to watch the real ones.
Yeah, he's great at that stuff too. You know, he's been a big hardcore fan of WWE.
Absolutely. So, which guys are you know, obviously outside of the guys that we've already talked about over there in AKA, whether it be like a Justin Willis or a Violent Bob Ross, or who else are you looking for to have a standout 2019?
Well, I mean, there's so many, you know. Justin Willis, obviously, he's on the forefront. He's 4-0 as a heavyweight, and his confidence is getting bigger and bigger, and he's improving. So his competition is going to get bigger. Everyone he fights now, it's either going to be semi-main or main event. So, I mean, he's ranked probably 7th or 8th now in the UFC. So Justin is on his way up. We'll see what's in store for him. You know, Bagoy Ivanov, you know, who fought Junior Dos Santos on the last show. He's fighting again against Ben Rothwell on March 9th in Kansas City.
Yes.
Islam Makhachev is fighting March 9th in Kansas City. Alejandro Perez, we're looking to fight March 2nd in Las Vegas. Gabriel Mowgli Benitez is looking to come back from an injury, so he'll be coming back real soon. And then you know, we got Deron Wynn, who's going to be impressive as hell to watch, fun to watch.
Yes.
He's a fun sucker. He's 5'6", and man, he's fun to watch. He is a little slugger, man. Powerful guy.
That's like DC Junior, right?
Yeah,
Right? A little bit.
He's DC's boy. They go at it all the time. It cracks me up. And then of course, you know, you got Luis Pena. You said Violent Bob Ross. You know, he's making his thing. Dwight Grant will make a comeback. You know, he had disappointing first fight in the UFC. Didn't kind of go his way. It was a split decision. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. He'll be back stronger, you know. And then up-and-coming guys, you know, I love my juggernaut, James Lawson, who's a heavyweight Penn State wrestler. I think he's going to be the big next star coming out of our gym, along with Kyle Crutchmere, you know, Romero Cotton, you know, a bunch of guys, man. We got a top crew coming up, and it's good. It's good. And then Daniel Allen, I got another kid unknown, Daniel Allen. We got quite a few coming.
Before we let you go, you've been Trader of the Year. You got all these champions. But one thing Mr. Mendez hasn't done is led a woman to a title. Is that anything that you'd be interested in doing, or is that just kind of like the dynamic women don't really train at AKA?
Nah, you know, we just, you know, the closest we came to that is what do you call it? What I forgot. Jermaine. Jermaine trained with us for about a year before she had to go back to Holland.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The closest we came to that, but we don't really have many women, so I would definitely love to have that because we never had that for that very reason. Yeah, no, it would be awesome to have that. The closest we have is she trains with us part time and Ant Dogs up in Gilroy. We have a little one that I think she could do really well. She's making a comeback. She's an Invicta now, but I think that she's going to do really well. And I don't know why the hell I forgot her damn name. Oh, Brianna. We call Brianna the Bull. She's a little cutie. She's tough, man. She's really good everywhere. So I don't know. We could maybe see some things with her, but that's going to take a little while. She's not in the UFC yet. But I expect that she would be there within 2 or 3 more fights in Invicta to get crossed over.